As a busy freshman, Lin Luo said that college life is very boring. There are few classes and no homework every day. Basically, I stay in the dormitory with my roommate all day long and watch and play games on my mobile phone. Lin Luo is very longing for the orc world, although he is timid and the orc primitive forest is very dangerous, but every day is an adventure, which is better than lying in bed and getting moldy. Just finished reading a book of orcs, she stretched and said to herself, "Hey, the orc boys in the book are all handsome, mighty and domineering, but the women are all ugly and domineering. If she can travel to it's not a waste to look at the handsome guy there, and he is not beautiful, and he has low self-esteem for his appearance. If he came to the orc world, would he be a little beauty, haha. Forget it, don't think about it, go buy something to eat." While walking, Lin Luo held the phone in his hand and wrote a comment on the book just now. This is her habit. As a senior member of the Bowhead family, she usually walks and plays with her mobile phone. There are not many vehicles in the school, and they all know that there are many students, so they will pay attention to slow down, and the danger is not large, so many students play with mobile phones while walking. She lowered her head to think about her comment, very engaged. Suddenly the surrounding students became restless. "Ah! If the car is out of control, please avoid it." "What?" While thinking about it, she was stunned for a moment. She looked up quickly and saw a white car rushing towards her at a speed visible to the naked eye. She immediately wanted to avoid it, but it was too late. The car hit her body, she flew like a kite with a broken string, and rolled on the ground twice. It hurt, this is her last feeling. She wanted to open her eyes, but her eyelids seemed to weigh thousands of pounds. All I could smell was the strong smell around me, and fluids kept coming out of my body. I only heard the exclamations of the students around. "Ah! It hit a person." The car also hit the wall and crashed. "I don't know who called, call an ambulance, call an ambulance." The surrounding sound was very noisy, and many people screamed in panic, but Lin Luo's consciousness became more and more blurred, and gradually, the voice she heard became smaller and smaller. At the end of her life, she learned this lesson: she must not play with her mobile phone while walking. And then passed out. Lin Luo woke up leisurely. "Hey? I'm not dead? I'm not dead." She sat up, rubbing her body up and down. "I'm not injured. Could it be that she has such a good character? It's so hard to die." It's a smile. Who can understand this kind of excitement when he thought he was dead but found out that he was not injured? Confirming that she was not injured, she clapped her hands, dusted her body, and got up from the ground. Where is this? How come I've never been here before?" She was so excited to escape from the disaster that she didn't notice that the environment around her was not a familiar campus, but a large forest. I saw towering trees rising from the ground, blocking the sky. Looking up, all the trees overhead, and some unknown plants around, and occasionally there was an animal that never ran in the distance. Her eyes were about to pop out. Was the animal passing by a rabbit? She once raised a little rabbit on a whim, and the one who just passed by was indeed a rabbit. But what's the matter with the body that is 4 or 5 times the size of a normal rabbit? How did I come to the forest? Just wondering if she was dreaming, she suddenly heard the sound of a beast, and her hairs stood up. I thought to myself, don't scare me, I'm timid. There won't really be beasts here, and they won't eat people. From a distance, I saw a behemoth walking in my direction. It was a bear. I have seen it in the animal world, bears can hurt people. Watching it slowly approaching his direction, his heart was in his throat. Running is definitely impossible, and I can't climb trees. I really want to cry but have no tears. By the way, bears don't eat dead things. I remember a story that someone encountered a bear and pretended to be dead to escape. Just do it. Lin Luo immediately lay down on the ground and loaded the body. I heard the bear's voice getting closer and closer, and the forest didn't dare to come out. Feeling the bear sniffing beside him, his face was pale, but he didn't dare to make a move, so he could only hold his breath. I can't hold it anymore. Am I just choked to death or eaten by bears? Xiang never left. Lin Luo's heart collapsed. Forget it, die, really can't hold back. Her face was flushed red, and she was powerless to give up. Suddenly hearing a roar of a tiger, Lin Luo secretly opened his eyes and saw a white figure rushing towards the bear beside him. Lin Luo decisively climbed aside while they were biting together, take a breath of fresh air. After Lin Luo took a few breaths of fresh air, he found that the white figure just now was a big white tiger. The fur is bright and majestic. The big bear is bigger than the white tiger. It keeps attacking the tiger with its palms. The white tiger grabs with its claws and bites the big bear with its teeth. The bite is strong and flexible. Soon he found the weakness of the big bear and bit the big bear's neck in one bite. The big bear's neck was bitten, unable to move, and gradually stopped struggling. Sure enough, the tiger, who is indeed the king of beasts, is a bit domineering. When the big bear died, the white tiger let out a long roar, raised its head high, and assumed a victorious attitude. It seemed that Lin Luo was not found. Lin Luo quietly moved to the middle of the bushes to the side, covering her body, hoping not to be seen by the white tiger, but she didn't want to survive under the big bear's mouth, only to be found by the tiger and eat it. She secretly observed Beihu's movements, hoping that Beihu could leave as soon as possible. I didn't dare to move, I could only shrink myself into a ball as much as possible, hoping that the white tiger would leave quickly after eating and not find himself. Before the white tiger finished eating, a pair of big tiger eyes suddenly looked in the direction of the bushes where Lin Luo was hiding. Lin Luo's breathing stagnated, and his heart was pounding. Could it be that he was discovered? The white tiger suddenly jumped in the direction of the forest fall. Ah, don't eat me! Lin Luo hurriedly hugged his head in fright, closed his eyes, and cried out. After a while, he will find that he has not been bitten. He secretly opened his eyes and found that the white tiger was biting a flower snake in its mouth and threw it to the side, hit a tree, and fell to a pulp. For it? There was actually a flower snake in front of the bushes, and the tiger pounced on the flower snake. His cry has attracted the attention of Beihu. Beihu's pair of golden pupils are tightly locked on Lin Luo. Lin Luo also looked at it, for fear that if it was not careful, it would pounce on it and shred itself to pieces. The next second, she saw the white tiger stand on its front paws and its hind legs on the ground, turning into a red naked boy with silver hair and golden pupils. The boy looks very sunny, like a teen-year-old, a warm and big boy of 8 or 9 years old. His bronzed skin looks very healthy and his figure is also very good. At this time, Lin Luo was not in the mood to appreciate the handsome man. You're a monster! Lin Luo was about to cry. Today is too inexplicable. A series of unfortunate things happened, and now I can see a monster that can be transformed. What is a monster? I'm not a monster, I'm the orc Zavi. How could you be a female in the foggy forest? Orcs? I've come to the orc continent. Feeling that Beihu had no ill will towards her, and seemed to have come to the orc world that he had been thinking about, Lin Luo was excited. Yes, little female, what's your name? Are you separated from your clan? My name is Lin Luo. I got separated from the clan. Why don't you wear clothes? Only now did I realize that the boy was not wearing clothes, and the things under him were still shaking with the boy's movements. The boy seemed to realize that the female opposite was shy, and scratched the back of his head. Just call me Zavi. If you are separated from your clan, then go to my tribe. You are so beautiful. I saved you, so you can be my partner. Hey? I'm pretty. Looking at the handsome white tiger with disbelief, Lin Luo couldn't grasp the point of this sentence. I am average, but a little fat, and there is a little freckles on my face, but my skin is relatively white, and I am of medium appearance, not beautiful but not ugly. I have always been inferior, so suddenly someone said she is beautiful, and her focus is naturally here. Well, it's really beautiful, even more beautiful than the most beautiful Lusa in our tribe. Are you willing to be my partner? After he finished speaking, he blushed slightly. I can't be your partner, a partner must have feelings, love each other, we only met for the first time, the two have no feelings at all, how can they be partners? Lin Luo decisively refused, although he liked it. The beautiful man in the Beastland hopes to live a primitive life, but he does not intend to stay here forever. He still has his own family on Earth, and he still has to go back if he has a chance, and he is only 18 years old and still a student. How could it be possible to give yourself to a strange boy? I will be good to you, and you will have feelings for me. I don't have to force you, wait for you to mate with me willingly. I go, mate. Fortunately, the orcs usually understand what this means. What is this all about? Orcs are really so open. Lin Luo silently complained in his heart. Well, if you don't force me to mate, I will go back to the tribe with you. After all, this forest is so dangerous, and I am unfamiliar with the environment here. It is indeed very dangerous to be alone. With Zavi the Hui tribe is at least safe and secure. Then you will be my female from now on, you sit on my back, and I will take you back to the tribe. After speaking, he turned into a tiger shape, although he knew that Zavi was not malicious to himself. But seeing such a big tiger in front of his eyes was a bit frightening, and he didn't know how to climb on his back. Su Shi saw Lin Luo's embarrassment, and Sha-wei rolled her tail and placed her firmly on his back. Sha-wei let out a roar to indicate that he was about to set off. Lin Luosheng was afraid of being knocked down by him, so he lay on his back and hugged his neck. His tiger hair was unexpectedly soft and shiny, and it was very comfortable to touch. Sitting on his back is not upside down, very stable. Sit on his back for about half an hour before arriving at his tribe. Wow, there are so many handsome guys, I feel that all the boys around are very handsome. However, many of them are not wearing clothes, naked, and the things under them are directly exposed to the line of sight, and a few who are not naked are just a piece of animal skin around their waists. Rao Shi Lin Luo saw that many orcs were psychologically prepared and somewhat unacceptable. Zavi, you actually brought a female. A blond man exclaimed. It's beautiful. Another man also agreed. Immediately after hearing the sound, several men gathered around. Thank you for the compliment. Lin Luo felt embarrassed. It was the first time that so many people praised her for her beauty, and a group of beautiful men gathered around to see her. What do you want to do? This female is mine. Sha-wei immediately put Lin Luo behind him and looked at the men around him with a wary expression. This female is so beautiful, you must not be the only male, we also have the right to pursue her. I don't know who said this, and others also agreed. Yes, we can also pursue her. I'm going to have a baby with her. Savi, you can't be too selfish, it's definitely impossible for a female to have only you as a partner. Sha-wei hugged Lin Luo tightly behind him, and looked at the men around him fiercely. She is mine, you are not allowed to hit her. Then he pushed a man away and held her back. Lin Luo left. Lin Luo Quanghan, co-authoring these beautiful men, is to be her partner just like Sha-wei at the beginning. The boys here are really open, and they will get married and have children as soon as they meet. And are there really too few women? Actually, and the same woman can have several companions in the orc world. Each one has a tiger-backed waist, full of fat, swimming around the waist, and various defects on his face. What kind of nose upturned, mung bean eyes, sausage mouth. Lin Luo said that his eyes had suffered 10,000 points of damage. On the road, I saw 3 or 4 beautiful men surrounded by each female, and the beautiful men were dog-legged, pinched shoulders, and thumping. Watching the beautiful men flattering the ugly women, Lin Luo, who has always believed that only beautiful women can please handsome men, feels that the world view has been turned upside down. Sha-I explained to her, there are 43 males in this tribe, but only 8 females. Each tribe has far more males than females, and females are very fragile, so females precious, all males will be nice to females. A female has several mates. Lin Luo can only laugh, the environment here is harsh, and the females have long backs and waists to adapt to the environment. But are there too few females and are too uncompetitive to grow into this look? And males are so competitive that they constantly improve themselves, and the longer they grow, the more handsome they become, which has caused the polarization of male and female appearances here. It's a beautiful enjoyment to be full of handsome guys. In the future, any man I see casually will be a handsome little guy. Thinking about it, Lin Luo is also in a happy mood. Sha Wei turned Lin Luo's body to face himself, and said solemnly, "You are not allowed to like other males who are good to you, you can only have me as a partner." This, as a 21st century Lin Luo with the concept of equality between men and women, she has never thought about 3 wives and 4 concubines, but she has to marry a white tiger who she only met today, even if it is a beautiful man, and she also refuses. Not to mention that she is still just a student and has not thought about staying in this world for a long time. What's more important is that the races are different, and the taste of people is too heavy. Thinking of this, goosebumps all over my body. Suddenly, an arrogant voice interrupted Lin Luo's wild thoughts. "I heard that today Sha Wei brought a very beautiful female, is that you?" There is a large mole under the corner of the mouth, the kind that can never be found when thrown into a crowd. However, compared to other females, it is indeed better, and it can only be said to be inferior. Are you saying I'm pretty? Lin Luo looked confused, he didn't know this beast. Humph, it looks stupid, has no chest and is not big enough, can this body give birth to a cub? How could Zavi like you? Warped. This is embarrassing. Although my bee cover is not too small, I want to talk back, but when I see the turbulent waves, I am immediately ashamed. Sha Wei immediately held her hand. I liked her the first time I saw her, even if she couldn't have a cub. I am the most beautiful female in the tribe, you are the most powerful male in the tribe, only I can match you. The female was furious. The most beautiful female? I heard Xavier say that it seems to be called Lusa, but she is the most beautiful looking like this, poof. Lusha, I don't like you, and Xiaoluo is prettier than you. Humph, Xiaoluo, let's go home. After finishing speaking, he took Lin Luo away. Small? When did he get to know him so well? Lin Luo complained in his heart, but he could only let him take it away. Walk to a spacious cave and stop. Presumably this cave is where the orcs usually live. Lin Luo walked in with him. The inside was very simple. There was only a pile of grass in the innermost part of the cave, a few stone pots and stone basins, and a few pieces of animal skins. Shavai pointed to the haystack, blushing, "We will sleep here together in the future. You are my female, I will treat you very well, I will not force you to mate with me, I will wait until I voluntarily mate with me." Everyone promises that they will not force themselves, and they have nowhere to go. Lin Luo smiled sweetly, "Thank you, I'm really bothering you." Seeing Lin Luo's smile, Sha Wei's face turned even redder, but he looked silly. No trouble, it is the male's responsibility to take care of the female. Lin Luo found that the thing under him was standing up high, and immediately turned his face away and stopped looking at him, with an unnatural expression. "Why don't you wear clothes?" Sai realized that Lin Luo didn't want to see him naked, so he immediately found a piece of animal skin around his waist. Only then did Lin Luo dare to turn to look at him. Suddenly, Sha Wei slapped his head. "By the way, I forgot to ask you what race you are? You are so beautiful, should you be a mermaid or a fox?" "I'm a human, I come from far away, I don't know your situation very well, can you tell me about the situation here?" Sha Wei frowned and thought for a while, probably didn't know what a man was, but he didn't delve into it, and said, "A beautiful female like you must be very precious, I think it was your clan who protected you. It's so good that I don't know the outside world anymore. Then he told Lin Luo about the general situation of the world. It turns out that this is a land of orcs. There are various animal orcs. Orcs can become humanoids, but real beasts cannot, and beasts are much weaker than male orcs. The female orcs here are born with the appearance of earth babies. At most one female baby is born at a time, but they are usually male babies. There are many male babies at a time, but there are very few female babies. Moreover, the female body is not as good as the male, and it is easy to be injured and sick. The females here are particularly squeamish. Male orcs are no different from beasts when they are born. When they reach adulthood, they can change between beast and human forms at will. They are very combative and aggressive, often fighting for their favorite females. And food, once a favorite female is identified, it will basically not change, and she is very loving to the female. A female can have multiple partners. The orcs here are all graded. There are 5 grades. The higher the grade, the more powerful. There are 3 rings on Zavi's right arm, indicating that he has reached the 3rd level, and is the most powerful in the tribe he is currently in. The most prosperous place in this world is the Beast King city, and the leader is the Lion King. There are 5 major tribes under the Beast King city: wolf, leopard, tiger, eagle, and ape. Except for the ape clan, which is smart and respected, the other 4 clans rely on fighting power. Sha is the son of the Tiger King, who came to this unknown small tribe to experience. Adapt slowly, but before you adapt to this world, you still have to rely on Zavi. Thinking that he was rescued by Sha as soon as he arrived, and now he has to trouble him to take care of himself, Lin Luo couldn't help but cast a grateful look at him. However, a certain beast seemed to have misunderstood her meaning. In his eyes, Lin Luo gave him a shy look. Sha was ecstatic. Xia Luo accepted himself, but was too embarrassed to say it, so he cast such a seductive, at least in the eyes of a beast, it was indeed seductive, to imply himself. Sha immediately thought he was very understanding and rushed towards Lin Luo, hugging her tightly. Xia Luo, do you accept me and want to mate with me and have cubs? For the sudden change, Lin Luo was stunned. He didn't resist, he was hugged directly, and he didn't react at all. Seeing that Lin Luo did not reject his embrace, Sha strengthened the thought in his mind just now, yes, Xiao Luo really accepted himself. In addition to being overjoyed, Sha kissed Lin Luo's small mouth and licked it gently on Lin Luo's lips. Well, Xia Luo's mouth is so sweet. Thinking about it, she tried to pry open her teeth, wanting to ask for more. Sha kissed very eagerly. Lin Luo felt a little pain in his lips before he realized what happened. She immediately pushed him away desperately, but the male beast man was too powerful, and she couldn't resist at all, so she bit his tongue hard and bit hard. Sha felt pain in his mouth, and immediately wanted to push away, but was afraid of hurting her, so he could only let her bite, his face twisted with pain. Lin Luo didn't let go until there was a trace of blood in his mouth. Due to the lack of oxygen just now, plus anger, the whole face looked red and puffed up. Sex tiger, what do you want to do? Lin Luo was obviously annoyed and asked. Although his tongue hurts, Xia Luo can only stick out his tongue when he asks himself, and immediately reply, I thought you were willing to accept me with your alluring eyes just now. I gave birth to a cub. I was wrong, Xia Luo, please don't be angry. After speaking, he blinked his innocent eyes. Oh, so cute, Lin Luo lost his anger when he saw a handsome guy acting cute in front of his eyes. Thinking that he misunderstood his own eyes, he could only wave his hand helplessly and said, forget it, don't care about what happened just now, don't mess around in the future. Xiao Luo, have you forgiven me? His eyes lit up as he spoke, and he looked very happy. Well, yes. In fact, he is his own savior, and now he wants him to take care of him, and he has to keep bothering him, but he is so good to himself. Watching him forgive him because of his forgiveness with the excited smile, Lin Luo couldn't help but feel sour. No man had ever treated her so well and cared so much about her forgiveness and feelings. Hearing the words of forgiveness, Zavi jumped up excitedly, and immediately wanted to hug Lin Luo again. Lin Luo immediately became vigilant when he saw it, and covered his chest with both hands reflexively. Sha-wei immediately realized that he almost scared Xia Luo again, and his head drooped down. "I'm sorry Xia Luo, I almost scared you again." Lin Luo said he had no resistance to such a handsome young man, and sighed. Then he looked a little embarrassed and said, "Forget it, it doesn't matter, just pay attention in the future." But Xia Luo forgives himself so easily. I really like Lin Luo the more I see it. Fortunately, Lin Luo's stomach growled in a timely manner, breaking the embarrassment. "Xia Luo, are you hungry? I'll make you food right away." Before Lin Luo could thank him, he jumped into the shape of a tiger and ran out. After a while, he came back with a few fruits and about 10 pounds of meat. "Females like to eat cooked meat, I'll cook it for you right away. You eat green fruit to satisfy your hunger first, green fruit is very delicious, many females like it." After he finished speaking, he saw him go outside with a pile of firewood, and then began to drill wood to make fire. Eating the fruit that Zavi gave to herself, it was really juicy, sweet and delicious. Lin Luo tried to make fire by drilling wood in the survival class. At that time, there were 2 groups in the class, only 2 groups succeeded in a dozen groups. When I lit the cigarette, I didn't see any sparks. One of Lin Luo's best friends likes to smoke. Her best friend often gets lost and forgets to bring a lighter. Over time, Lin Luo has the habit of carrying a lighter with her. Thinking of the difficulty of drilling wood to make a fire, Lin Luo took out a lighter and asked Sha-wei, "Would you like to use a lighter to light a fire?" Savi apparently had never seen a lighter, and his eyes were full of doubts. Looking at the cute man in front of him, Lin Luo smiled helplessly, walked over, picked up a flammable firewood and lit it with a lighter, and it started a fire. Sha-wei looked incredulous. "What is this? How can it be so simple to make a fire?" Lin Luo shrugged, "This is called a lighter, which is used to make fire in my hometown. But you should not be able to find this thing, this does not need to be as laborious as drilling wood to make fire, I'll send it to you, you can use this to make a fire in the future, you can save some effort." As he spoke, he taught Zavi how to use a lighter. Savi's heart is sweet. The female gave him gifts and taught him how to use it. He must have gradually liked him. Lin Luo trembled cautiously when he saw the rippling expression on his face. After teaching Zavi to use a lighter, Zavi used a stone knife to cut the barbecue into small pieces, then skewered it on a stick, and grilled it on a fire. Lin Luo looked at him without any seasonings, and couldn't help but wonder, "Why don't you put any seasonings on your barbecue? Isn't it the beasts like you who eat barbecue like this? The females here eat like this, what's the matter, what are the seasonings, do you need me to find them for you? It is too backward to come here, there is no seasoning or anything, there is food, and it is good to have someone help you, so let's do as the locals do." "Nothing, when I didn't say anything." Shavai glanced at him suspiciously, but didn't delve into it, and continued to concentrate on the barbecue. "It's cooked, try it if it's delicious." He handed the meat to Lin Luo with a flat face, but looking at Sha-wei's bright eyes, he couldn't say the words, "Oh, it's delicious, I like it very much." He pretended to like it and took a big bite of the barbecue to show that he didn't lie to him. Sha-wei was obviously very happy, blushing, "If you like it, I'm afraid I haven't baked it much, you won't like it." Lin Luo was full after eating some, and there was a lot of meat left over the dozen pounds. "I'm full, thank you." "Why don't you eat, just eat so much to get full. No wonder you are much thinner than other females, so how can you survive the dry season?" Lin Luo's food intake is quite large among girls, and his slightly fat body is eaten out. "But thinking about all the women here, it's true that you eat a lot to do this, so you really eat less? Don't worry, the women in our place eat so much, and I already eat too much. Sha shook his head helplessly, and said in a doting tone, I can't eat it anymore, I'll eat the rest later, do you want to take a bath? Lin Luo fingered in circles, but I don't have a change of clothes. This is easy to do, I'll use the animal skin to make some clothes for you. Saying that, he took out a piece of animal skin and compared it to Lin Luo, and quickly sewed it with a bone needle. After a while, I made something similar to a tube top and a hip skirt. Wow, it's amazing, I can make clothes, even I can't. She looked at Zavi with admiration. It's nothing, male orcs can do it. If you like it, I'll make a few more pieces for you in the future. Zavi scratched the back of his head honestly, and the roots of his ears turned red. Wait, I'll fetch water to give you a bath. Not long after, he came in with a large stone basin-like thing from the outside. Hurry up and take off your clothes, I will give you a bath. No, I'll just wash it myself, I don't need your help. Lin Lujian said. Ah! Don't! You said that if you don't force me, if you touch me again, I will ignore you in the future, and I will never be your partner. Lin Luo almost shouted. Sha Wei seemed to be hit, drooping his head, I won't touch you, I will go outside to guard, then you wash yourself, don't ignore me. Well, you can go outside and watch. You really don't want my help? Really not? Really not? Seeing Sha Wei turning back 3 steps, Lin Luo's face darkened, I really don't need it. Oh, well, then I'll really watch. Lin Luo was afraid that Sha Wei would stick his head in again later, so he quickly took a shower and changed into the clothes made by Sha Wei. To her surprise, the clothes fit just right. Just showing her belly, arms, and thighs made her a little unaccustomed to the tradition. Hearing Lin Luo's finished washing, Sha Wei immediately got into the hole and saw that Lin Luo was a little crazy. Xiao Luo's skin was so white and beautiful. Lin Luo usually wears traditional clothes. Even in the hot summer, she wears long-sleeved trousers and doesn't get much sun exposure, so her skin is indeed very white. She was a little embarrassed by Zavi, and coughed dryly. Zavi came back to his senses, and immediately turned his head away. Ahem, I'm going to pour water to wash my clothes now, you can rest here first. Without waiting for Lin Luo to refuse, he took the stone basin with Lin Luo's clothes and left quickly. Lin Luo was lying on the haystack, staring at the entrance of the cave with open eyes, thinking, Sha Wei is so virtuous, he can roast meat, make clothes, wash clothes, and do housework. He is handsome and likes himself, and sometimes he is very cute. Except for being a little bit lustful, he is a beast and has no faults. It's actually pretty good to live like that.